Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So for today's video, I am going to be talking all about how to wake up early in the morning and not hate it. If you guys are new around here, my name is Becca. I'm a registered dietitian. I share lots of content here on my channel about nutrition and wellness, non-toxic living, a little bit of motherhood, all kinds of good stuff. And like I said in this video, we're gonna be talking about early mornings, how to get up early, all of my tips, and why it just might change your life. So I think it's been about a year now since I have started prioritizing this in my life. And basically all I'm doing is I'm getting up early in the morning before the rest of my house is awake, so I have time to myself to do whatever it is that I please. Typically it is getting some work done, but there's also some self-care in there as well. And it really truly has changed my life. Okay, so the catalyst for me to start this whole early morning situation was actually a book, and I brought it so I could show you guys. So it's called The Miracle Morning. It's very popular. I'm sure many of you have already heard of it, but it is basically all about how to get up early and have your miracle morning. So I don't follow this book exactly. He has a few different things that are like integral to the miracle morning. So there are 6 different things. There's silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing. So that's kind of a lot, but his whole thing is you could literally potentially just do 1 minute of each of these things to have like a 6-minute miracle morning, or most people spread these tasks out over like an hour or maybe even more. So like I said, I don't follow this, his certain tasks exactly. I did in the beginning and I do love it, but I've just kind of adopted my own and just kind of I use that time more for the things that I feel are most important, which do usually include some of these things, but not necessarily all of them every day. I highly recommend this book. Like I said, it's been such a catalyst for me. I found it super helpful, and I recommend it to like everyone I know, but also there's a lot of people who are out there who are like, I am not a morning person, that's just never going to be me. And he addresses that specifically in this book. So even if you're like, I'm not a morning person, still you can, well, first off, you can do it, but you will find so much just magic really in the miracle morning, and I, like I said, can't recommend it enough. Okay, next I want to tell you guys a little bit about my specific routine. So every day I wake up early. Right now, that's around 6 a.m. That's what's working for our schedule. Sometimes it's earlier, but right now it's 6 a.m. and that gives me about an hour and a half to 2 hours before Hayden is actually up, like ready to start the day and our day gets rolling. So I have a lot of time to myself in the morning to get all kinds of different things done. And this kind of looks different depending on like the season that I'm in. But the main things that I tend to accomplish during this time, and it's not always all of them, but getting ready in the morning. So first thing in the morning, getting my makeup on, like getting my hair done, just having myself be all presentable and ready for the day. This is so integral for me. Not everybody obviously wears makeup and gets ready, and that's fine. But for me, I just like need to pull myself together. I need to feel presentable. I am so much more productive. I feel so much better throughout the day, like more myself, more energetic. If I am just in like sweats and no makeup all day, I'm just in like chill mode, not work mode. So that's something that's really important for me. And a lot of times I do it early. I get ready early in the morning. Another thing I might do is exercise. I really don't love working out first thing in the morning. I'm just like not awake and I'm just not very motivated for it. But sometimes I do. Now that we have a Peloton, it's a lot easier because I actually like enjoy it. I wrote a whole blog post on my like first Peloton impressions. I love it, and it's been a game changer for me. So that I can sometimes get myself to do early in the morning, but typically I don't love to exercise right when I'm rolling out of bed. I usually always try and include some kind of just like meditation or chill time. It's not something I do every day, but I do strive to do this consistently. I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I love the Insight Timer app. It's free. I think there is like a paid upgraded version, but I love all their meditations. Sometimes I do guided, sometimes I just listen to music, sometimes I just listen in silence. But starting off my day with silence, meditation, prayer, those kinds of like introspective, quiet times, it makes the biggest difference, especially because in the morning, if I jump right into work, your cortisol levels are high because that's what wakes your body up. That's natural, but also you don't want to be in this like heightened cortisol level for the rest of your morning and day. And I find that if I just dive right into work, I can get that way, and I get really like tense and like just anxious, and I'm just a little too worked up. So starting off my day on that quiet, peaceful, like meditation note really makes a huge difference in my day. I also love to just make myself a cup of tea, and I will sit down for the remainder of whatever time I have left, depending on how that morning goes, and I will just get some work done. A lot of times this is actual work. It's just work tasks that I need to do, whether it's for YouTube, whether it's for my Young Living business and our Facebook groups, whether it's like just planning out content, like any of the tasks I have to do. Often I will do them right first thing in the morning because I'm very focused, I'm well rested, and I love the quiet time to work. I'll also just do stuff that we need for just around the house. Like this is typically when I will plan out our grocery list and figure out what we're gonna eat for the week. I love taking advantage of this time to work on specific tasks that take a lot of concentration because again, it's quiet and it's just really easy to concentrate. Okay, so now that you know what my routine looks like, I wanna share with you guys all of my tips so that you can come up with your own routine and you can start doing this for yourself. It's seriously the best, one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Now, I do also have a blog post with all of these tips written out as well. If you want to reference that or you just like seeing it in writing, I will have that link down below. But my very first tip is kind of an obvious one, but it is get up for something you actually like to do. Like I said earlier, I'm not huge on exercising first thing in the morning, so I don't think I could get myself out of bed consistently super early to do that because I just don't look forward to it at that time of day. So finding something that you actually like to do. Do you like getting ready? Do you enjoy putting makeup on? Do you enjoy, you know, sipping on some tea, meditating, doing some work? Whatever it is that you will actually look forward to, having that be what you're doing in that early morning hour or so, it's so much more motivating. It's so much easier to get up when it's not something that you are just totally dreading. My second tip is a logistical one. It is so important, and that is just putting your alarm clock out of reach. I used to have my alarm clock on my nightstand where I could literally just reach over, half asleep, and turn it off. But now I have it completely across the room. So in order to turn off that annoying sound, even though it's like birds chirping and calming, it's still annoying because it's waking you up when you're dead asleep. I have to get up out of bed, walk all the way across the room to turn it off. That alone wakes me up. The amount of times that I would just turn it off when it was right next to me and just go right back to sleep, I was not prioritized. It's hard to prioritize your goals for getting up early when you are half asleep, so you need to force yourself awake, and for me that is putting my alarm clock on the other side of the room, so I have to get up. Also, along the lines of alarm clocks, the one that I specifically use, I will link it down below. It has like a light setting that like slowly gets brighter and brighter, so it kind of like naturally starts to wake you up, like basically mimics a sunrise before your alarm actually sounds. So that really helps to kind of like, you start to wake up and conceptualize while you're half asleep that the wake up is coming, but it's not here yet. So it does start to wake your body up before it's actually time to wake up. My third tip is just to drink some water. So if you have a glass of water or, you know, a bottle of water on your nightstand, right when you get up, just chug that water. It really wakes me up. And also this is just kind of a twofer because starting off your day hydrated makes the biggest difference just in your overall health. It's always good to be hydrated, but I also feel that I drink so much more water throughout the day when I start off hydrated first thing. So this kind of is like a dual purpose. My next tip is to wash your face and brush your teeth. In the Miracle Morning book, he talks about how when you're going through steps like this, it basically like just builds your motivation with each step to actually stay awake and do your Miracle Morning. So having these little steps first thing can really help just ease you out of bed and like into the idea of being awake at this earlier hour. So washing your face, brushing your teeth, it's refreshing. It just makes you feel much more awake. And I feel like I always go from like, I'm really sleepy, but I'm here, to, okay, I'm awake, I'm ready to start the day. Like, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? My fifth tip, and this one is so crucial, and that is to have a to-do list ready. Now, if your routine is the exact same every day, it's identical, you do the exact same tasks, this isn't really going to be necessary for you because your to-do list is already in your head, you have it memorized. But if you are like me and your days tend to be a little bit different, maybe you have different work tasks you're working on, maybe one day you're gonna get ready, or maybe the next day you're gonna exercise, whatever it is, I like to have a to-do list written out on paper, like it's already decided upon the day before, because I will tell you, on the days where I'm just like, I'm gonna get up and work, I am half asleep and I convince myself I don't really have anything that pressing to do, let me crawl right back into bed. But if I have a set to-do list, I know that like there are things I have to get done, I need to utilize this time. I am pretty much 100% likely to actually get up, stay up, and go get those things done. And I want to say here that your to-do list doesn't always have to be work tasks. You can wake up an hour early just to do straight up self-care, whatever that is for you. Maybe that's meditating, maybe it's taking a hot shower, maybe it's watching a show that you love, you know, like it doesn't matter. This is your time. Just know that you can utilize it. It doesn't always have to be strictly for productivity. It can just be to have some quiet time to yourself where no one's interrupting you. You are not having to take care of anyone. It is just time for you to do whatever you please and enjoy it without any guilt whatsoever. My sixth tip is an obvious one, but it's one that can be really hard to actually put into practice, and that is just getting good quality sleep and getting yourself to bed earlier. So if you are now going to be waking up after you're watching this video, starting tomorrow, if you're going to start waking up an hour earlier, ideally you should really be going to bed an hour earlier. So this can actually be really tough because I find that my bedtime routine is really hard to switch up or break down. And I can tell you from when I used to counsel clients for nutrition, we used to talk about bedtime routines all of the time. And one of the biggest struggles is for people to get to bed earlier. So one of my biggest tips is always to set an alarm on your phone. If you want to be going to bed, if you want your bedtime routine to start at 9 p.m. so that you are completely relaxed and sleepy and you've done all the things you need to do and you're in bed asleep by 10, set an alarm on your phone for 9. If you're used to starting your bedtime routine at 10, it's gonna be really tough to like jolt yourself out of that routine and get to doing what you need to do earlier. So set yourself an alarm so that your bedtime routine starts earlier and just keep doing that until it's second nature. And also the other side of this, even if you are getting to bed early, sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you just have a hard time going back to sleep. One of the things that I took from the Miracle Morning book is he always would say a mantra to himself when falling asleep. I'm pretty sure this is from the book. Maybe I picked it up somewhere else. But just telling yourself, I am getting the exact amount of sleep I need to feel well rested when I wake up, which might sound a little silly if you're not into like mantras and affirmations. But if that is the last thought, just like coursing through your brain as you're falling back to sleep, it really can make a difference how you feel when you wake up if that was the last thing that you were thinking about. My seventh tip is to stay consistent. If you are going to start a Miracle Morning routine, go ahead and actually start a Miracle Morning routine. Now, I know that might sound silly, but it's so true. Consistency is so important for one main reason. If you only do this a couple times, you're not really gonna be reaping the benefit of having that time consistently in the morning to work your magic and to do whatever you wanna do and to take care of yourself and have that me time. So in order to really have that like intrinsic motivation built up, motivation coming from you need to make sure you're actually seeing results, I guess, or at least reaping benefits. So stick with it, really commit to it for a month, and by the end of that month you will be have these habits so not only just ingrained, but you'll be so appreciative of those habits, and you will have seen most likely some really amazing changes, even if it's just changing the way like your day goes because you're setting the tone early first thing with what you want to be doing. It can make such a difference. So make sure that you're actually giving it a chance, actually giving it a shot, and be consistent with it. Now, I do want to make sure I point out here that consistency does not equal perfection. So if you're gonna try this for a month, if you fall off for a day or two, most people at that point would just throw their hands up, throw in the towel, and say, I give up, this is not for me, it's too hard, I didn't do it for a couple days, I'm a failure. No. We're not doing any of that, none of that wallowing. You're just gonna get right back into your routine, and it is okay to miss a couple days. There have been plenty of mornings where I have not gotten up and I sleep in and I don't take that time for myself to do whatever it is I wanna do over the last year. But you know what? There also have been plenty of mornings where I got up and I did the things I wanted to do, and I set the tone for the day, and I took time for myself. And I would much rather take all of those hours combined and added up for all of the benefits that have come from that than to like worry about all the hours that I missed out on and actually have that cause me to not do it at all, if that makes sense. So whatever you do, don't throw in the towel. Remember, this is a practice you're gonna be putting into place, and this is something you're gonna be doing hopefully for a very long time. So it doesn't have to be perfect. There are, across your lifetime, there are gonna be so many days where it doesn't work out and you don't get up, but there will also be so many days where you do. Okay, you guys, so that is all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you are going to embark on this miracle morning routine just as I have. It really has made the biggest difference. And again, I'm not perfect with it, but I do it consistently, and it really has changed my life. Again, I will link the Miracle Morning book down below if you wanted to check it out. If you guys have yet to subscribe, I would absolutely love for you to join us here in my little YouTube community. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram, because I'm always sharing pretty much on a daily basis what I'm up to there, and I'm always sharing things that I love and I find impactful and just things that I'm learning about. But that is all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.